How often do you actually pause and measure the boundaries of your own potential? Well, welcome to This Explainer. I'm so thrilled you're here with me today because honestly, we're looking at some truly remarkable source material. We're diving straight into a powerful, multidimensional text that centers entirely on the experience of womanhood. And specifically, we're celebrating strength, courage, and purpose. It's just a fantastic exploration of how we frame human potential, and it's going to be incredibly rewarding to unpack this together. The author opens this text with a brilliant, yet incredibly simple premise. Womanhood is a multidimensional experience. You know, we aren't just talking about the traditional roles people occupy in society, at home, or at work. Our source material today takes a much deeper, much more holistic view than that. It defines this journey as something actively shaped by identity, by responsibility, and by deep aspiration. It's this complex, ongoing process of becoming. So, to guide us through all this, we'll follow a quick four-part framework. First, the meaning of womanhood, then the 3 pillars of agency, next, celebrating your unique journey, and finally, committing to your legacy. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the meaning of womanhood, silent battles and created possibilities. Just think for a second about the invisible logistics required simply to get through a typical Tuesday. Right? The text breaks down the female experience into these deeply resonant components. It tells us it's shaped by identity and responsibility, fueled by aspiration, and characterized by this amazing capacity to create meaning right in the face of adversity. This is really about honoring those quiet, everyday battles fought behind the scenes and recognizing the immense value that every single woman's existence carries. It's a powerful acknowledgement that surviving barriers isn't just about getting past them, it's about actively creating possibilities for everyone who follows. It's a powerful acknowledgement that surviving barriers isn't just about getting past them, it's about actively creating possibilities for everyone who follows. Moving on to Section 2, 3 pillars of agency, appreciating strength, courage, and transformation. Here, we're going to look at what the text outlines as 3 core traits of resilience. But before we even list those 3 traits of resilience, the crucial point the author makes here is a brilliant paradigm shift: agency, not obligation. The text absolutely insists that these traits shouldn't be romanticized as heavy burdens or obligations that women just have to perpetually carry around, like some sort of martyr. Instead, we really need to recognize and embrace them as powerful sources of agency, leadership, and human potential. Okay, so the first trait of resilience is strength. But what kind of strength are we actually talking about here? Because we aren't talking about physical muscle. The text clearly defines this as the psychological and emotional strength to persist, adapt, and rebuild when circumstances demand it. It's that quiet internal fortitude you need to look at a seemingly impossible, chaotic situation and simply say, okay, I will navigate this. The second trait of resilience is courage. And this expands way beyond those grand cinematic gestures we usually think of. This is the everyday bravery required to challenge injustice, pursue new opportunities, and speak difficult truths. What really stands out in the source material for me is the inclusion of the courage to begin again, which, let's face it, is such a profoundly vulnerable, deeply relatable human experience. It's the courage to stand for what's right, even when doing so is incredibly uncomfortable. And for the third trait of resilience, we look at the capacity to nurture. Now, this is a massive reframe. The author expands nurturing far beyond the traditional domestic sense of the word. Instead, it becomes this dynamic driver of progress. It's the ability to develop people, cultivate relationships, generate bold ideas, and actively contribute to positive change within organizations and entire communities. In this context, nurturing is a fierce, highly transformative leadership skill. All right, Section 3, celebrating your unique journey from the past to the future. This part of the text perfectly illustrates the natural flowing progression of celebration. Step 1, we have to acknowledge the journey, meaning recognizing how far we've traveled, the obstacles we've survived, and all those uncredited achievements that brought us to this exact moment. Step 2, we celebrate our uniqueness by actually defining our own present success. And Step 3 is all about connection and upliftment. The text argues that meaningful progress only becomes sustainable when women create spaces where other women can thrive through mentorship and encouragement. You can see how one step just inevitably feeds right into the next. Which brings us to a highly practical and frankly much-needed toolkit for anyone dealing with modern burnout. The source reminds us we need to grant ourselves the grace to simply exist, to rest, and to do it without the guilt that usually tags along. To dream absolutely without limitation, to laugh freely, to acknowledge what you've already accomplished, and crucially, to make room for the woman you are still becoming. It's just a wonderful reminder that you don't actually have to have it all figured out today to be entirely worthy of celebration. Finally, Section 4, committing to your legacy. Know your worth, use your voice, build your legacy. Notice how these 3 commitments for the future seamlessly escalate. First, it starts with the personal. Know your worth by continuously investing in your education, your well-being, and your own capabilities. Then it moves outward to the systemic. Use your voice by participating meaningfully in decisions and advocating for fairness and inclusion. And finally, it reaches the generational level. Build your legacy by asking what you can contribute to those who come after you. Embedded within this commitment, the author emphasizes a really powerful contrast: social expectations versus personal values. The text strongly urges women to define success strictly by their own values, their aspirations, and their unique purpose, rather than ever allowing external social expectations to determine their self-worth. In short, you are the architect of your own validation. And here's another striking contrast pulled straight from the source material. To put it in the exact words of the author, never allow another person's limitations to become the boundaries of your own potential. Think about that for a second. If someone else cannot see what is possible, well, that's a reflection of their limitation. It is absolutely not a ceiling on your capability. So, as we think about building a legacy, whether that gets expressed through leadership, scholarship, entrepreneurship, parenthood, or just the daily courage with which you live your life, the text leaves us with this deeply provocative question. What will you contribute to those who come after you? It's a question specifically designed to spark a little quiet reflection about the trail we're leaving behind in our everyday actions. We're going to wrap up this explainer with the author's empowering final blessing. Quote, "May you continue to rise against all odds. May you never forget the extraordinary value of the woman you are, the woman you have become, and the woman you are still becoming." It is such a beautiful, lasting reminder that walking boldly in your purpose becomes the exact evidence someone else needs to see that their own possibilities remain wide open.